Hi, this is Miss Dutchins, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the Declaration of Independence Pear Deck Part 2. So we are going to do Part 1 together, and then you guys are going to be doing Part 2 on your own. So I'm just going to be going over Part 2 and what you need to do for that section. The first thing you need to know is how to get to this Pear Deck, which is you just go to this week under classwork, and it'll be Declaration of Independence, March 18th and 19th. And then once you click it, you should be if you were completing it in class, it should pop you out to where you left off. If it doesn't, you can just click through until you get to slide 15 because that's where part 2 officially starts. So for this slide, what you're going to do is you're just going to read what it says here. It's talking about how it's a giant list of all the things that they thought the king had done wrong. So you're going to make sure you read this part and this part because the next slide is going to have to do with what you're reading here. So it says, why do you think the writing team made such a long list of crimes for the king? Hint, think about what they were trying to do and about what John Locke believed and about the government. And then it has a sentence starter, I think that. So you're going to write a response to this question up here. And then, yeah, you can start with I think that, however you want to start that. Then the next part, part 4, the actual Declaration of Independence, finally. You're going to look at the words that are highlighted, and you're going to use dictionary.com, and you're going to find the definitions to those words. And then you're just going to write them out in your response. You can either write the source. You can use a word that is similar to, or you can write out the definition, but you're just going to do all 6 of those questions, or all 6 of these words. The reason for that is because it's really hard to understand this part if you don't understand those words. So again, you're going to write the 6 definitions for those words. You can use dictionary.com, and you'll write them in your response. Then after that, you're going to read it again now that you know what those words mean. And what do you think all this lawyer language means? So basically, this is like a contract, and this is very like, this is what we're asking, this is what we want. This is very lawyer language. So I know it says discuss in class with a partner, but obviously you're just writing the response on your own. Normally this would be an in-class discussion with each other, but since you're doing this on your own in Pear Deck, don't worry about that part. So it says, what do you think this means? So you're going to read through it, and you're just going to tell me in your best, like the best you can, what you think they're talking about. And if you're having trouble, just let me know, and I'll help you out with this one. Then for this one, you're going to just read out what it says. That's all you're doing on this slide. You're not writing anything. You're just reading out what it says. Then on this slide, you're just going to tell me 2 things that you learned in part 2. So maybe you learned a definition to a word you didn't know. Maybe you learned about the Declaration more. But just 2 things. You can draw or you can write your 2 things out. And then once you reach 22 out of 22, you'll get to this slide, and this just means that you finished the whole Pear Deck. So you just go back to Google Classroom, and you just press mark as done. But other than that, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just let me know, and thanks for listening.